and my purpose is to put a smile of over 1 million people's faces, starting with you.
Oh, I just want to give him a hug.
And we all interconnect and we all kind of encourage each other and grow. And it's just organically become. And this young lady, Lachey, she would always say to me, "Oh, where do you want to go?" She would manifest. And I mean the craziest things. We ended up going to Bali because of a competition.
My favourite place in the world.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. So it's amazing what we can achieve when we start becoming a family.
Yes.
That vibe together.
If you were to, I suppose, leave a message to someone watching this just to keep them inspired and going, what's the message that you would like to leave? Welcome to The Proud Talk. I'm your host, Tracy Hill, and today I am joined by the Ben-Salmi family. Welcome! And by the way, this is just half, okay? This is just half. We have 3 boys upstairs ready to come down. But I obviously wanted to start with the mum. So, Sabrina, you have been recognised for quite a few things. I can absolutely list them off, but it would be really nice to hear from you what your achievements have been over, the last 5 years, I suppose, if not before that.
Yeah, so very, my proudest achievement really was being awarded the Mother of the Year award. That was one that touched my heart so deeply. It was a surprise. I remember actually just waiting for the meal, 3-course meal, and they called my name and my children were expecting me to get up. And I was just oblivious thinking, is that me? Surely not. So that's my most prized one. I've recently won one for the best dyslexic business. Not a lot of people know about my neurodiversity. I haven't been speaking about that very much. And there is an avalanche from Unlimited to all kinds of different awards. And I'm very proud for each and every one.
Yeah, 100%. I bet you two are really proud of her as well, right? So, could you introduce yourselves, your ages, just so everyone knows, and then a bit about what each of you do individually?
Oldest?
Yeah, no, you go first.
Well, thank you so much for having us on the show. So I'm Yasmine. I'm 14, turning 15 in August.
You're 14. You're so tall for 14 as well. Wow, it's amazing.
But the main things that I usually focus on is teaching young people about youth empowerment and mental health. So one of my purposes is to eradicate low self-esteem by increasing and improving self-love within all people from all walks of life. So that is a very big mission, but I'm learning to do it step by step. But yeah, the stuff that we're currently doing, well, mine obviously, is ranging from the medical industry, which I've recently wrote a book on called Can I Answer Your Question, Doctor? Self-love, and a lot more books to come.
Oh, wow! You're just amazing. This is insane. And yourself?
Yes. Well, thank you so much for having us here today. My name's Lachey Ben-Salmi. I'm the eldest of the Ben-Salmi siblings. I'm 22, just turned. And yeah, I got started on my journey when I was about 9, wrote my very first book, co-authored with the second eldest, Tracy, when I was 11. And my core mission has always just been to liberate and empower as many young people as possible to tap into their passion, be authentically and unapologetically themselves, and to just share whatever they bring to the table. And another huge passion of ours as a family is cultural connectivity and diversity in all settings. So yes, that's a little bit about me.
So where did this all start then? Because you're highly educated family. And we were just talking about this earlier. And your children are homeschooled.
Yes, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I started our homeschooling journey in 2019.
Okay.
They have wanted to be homeschooled for the longest time. Lachey was my rebellious child. She's like, I'm not going back to school. I learned so much on the weekend. I've got connections. I know what I'm doing in my life. I'm not doing GCSEs. And I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So it was like a bit of a shock trying to get things ready. Homeschool is not for everyone. It's been perfect for us as a family. And it really transformed the dynamics of what we could do. The plan was we'll come out of school and travel the world. But obviously the world shut down, so we couldn't quite do that. But we've been able to connect with people around the world. But homeschooling opens up a whole different hemisphere for our family. We work with Brunel University, who actually sponsors part of their training. And it's just been amazing. You've done like engineering masterclasses. They've got extensive mentors in all different walks of life. So it's really given us as a family that ability to really delve into what our sacred gifts are, what our purpose is, and really getting down on the ground with what we want to give birth to in this world.
You're an extraordinary mother. Like, you blow my mind, even from the first time when I spoke to you. Where did this all come from for you?
In all honesty, I think I want to be real about what this is. So the where it came from was the lack of. So I was born into a family that was rejected me from the moment of conception. My mother's St. Lucian, father Nigerian. In the 80s, there was a lot of hostility between Africans and West Indians. So I was a product of everything that wasn't wanted. So I grew up just being rejected, feeling unwanted, unloved. And my prayer, I remember being roughly 6, 7, and I just prayed to have 3 girls, 3 boys, being married, Saved by Prince Charming, too many Disney movies, right? Picket fence, add a dog, right? That was my dream. But we don't always know the attributes of what that looks like. Well, how does that come together? So what I found is that I went through life just loving on so many things, but I was rejected and hurt by so many things. And it made me realize that I wanted a family, but what I really wanted was to be loved and accepted and loved unconditionally. And I felt that I could give birth to that because I didn't have it. And I started to look out into the community. I'm an only child for my mum. My dad has several children. Let's not go into that. Yeah. And I remember just feeling in love with life. You turn over a stone, it was just teeming with life. And the moment when Lachey came along, she changed my life forever. I fell pregnant at 19, gave birth at 20. I went through an avalanche of different traumas and challenges. But it was the moment I held my little girl in my arm. If you're a parent, you know exactly what that means. It was a mixed emotion of, I am the happiest person in the world, but oh my God, I have life. Yeah. I'm scared, how could you entrust me with life? And I just made a promise to her, you'll never be on your own, and I'm going to do my very best to support you. And I came from a place where children were seen and not heard. And I wanted to make sure I listened to my children. I wanted to make sure I created for my children. But the birth of what we started to do started in the girls' bedroom. We all huddled together. And I remember just saying to the girls, the boys were there at the time. And I said, what are your superhero skills? And they were like, Mummy, I could do this and I could do that. And they were firing off. And I was like, wow. Often we feel as parents, we know everything and we need to teach them. Or there's this pressure of needing to be a certain way. And I remember there were different moments in my parenting journey when I said to my kids, my imperfection is my perfection. That's all I can offer you. I will apologize when I get it wrong. I'm willing to listen to learn. And I had to adapt to each child's need. And that was really when pure magic started to happen. They were like, Mum, I could do this. I had Lachey going stand tall, you're strong. And I'm like, I'm not strong, I'm not. And she's like, Mum, I'm not, this is not happening. So they all started vibing with me and teaching me. And Yasmine would say stuff, Mum, love beyond what you can understand. And I'm thinking, I don't feel very loving right now. Daddy's really getting on my nerves. Yes. And then Trey was like, oh, Mum, making money. I want to make money beyond, I want to be financially free. I want to trade online and I want to have a portfolio of property. And I was like, what on earth? Where does this come from? Yeah. And then Paolo wanted to break every rule. He wanted to just discover everything. He wanted to bounce over everything and break things. I'm like, what's going on with these kids? And then little Amir came in. He was my surprise baby. I didn't know I was pregnant. And he's the one that would just tell you everything. By the way, Paolo's upstairs. You know what you told me not to do? He's kind of doing it. And that thing you kind of say you shouldn't be doing, Mum? I've seen you do it. And it was like, where on earth do these kids come from? So it really is a mass interconnectivity. Yeah. If you think about puzzle pieces, in every puzzle box, there's no duplicate piece. And we all interconnect and we all kind of encourage each other and grow. And it's just organically become. And this young lady, Lachey, she would always say to me, Mom, where do you want to go? She would manifest. And I mean the craziest things. We ended up going to Bali because of a competition.
My favourite place in the world.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Yes. So it's amazing what we can achieve achieve when we start becoming a family
Yes.
that vibe together.
And you do, and you are truly that, like a unit. You are just so connected. And yeah, I absolutely love it. So what's next for you two?
Go first.
So what's next for me? So I have to do my GCSEs next year, so hopefully that all goes well. Because the career that I'm choosing is to become a surgical doctor. So I have to do very, very well in both maths and all three sciences. And maths is my very least liked subject. So hopefully that goes well. But aiming to do more events and to inspire more young people to do what they were born to do.
Yeah.
And just sharing who I am with the world. And mainly planning to do more things, which include like hobbies. Right now, learning a couple of languages, so hopefully,
couple?
yes, couple is 5. So hopefully, learning to expand that more and to meet new people.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Have you met Dr. Leanne Armitage yet?
That's who contacted me. She said that she had the interview with you.
Perfect.
So, yeah, we're going to watch it.
Yeah, you should definitely meet. Definitely
Definitely
meet.
go to.
And how about you?
Oh, for
Michelle?
me, 101 things. As a family, we've, over the last 12 to 24 months, we've been working quite hard with the team in developing a lot of curriculum to sort of redefine what curriculum looks like and introducing some new elements. So we're really, really excited about that launching very soon. We're going on a school tour around all the schools in the UK to really positively impact as many kids as possible, because there's so much content nowadays and you can do it, but who's on the ground actually showing people how to do it and telling kids that there's other things you can do in life and being you is okay. So that's one element. We're all writing books and pursuing other projects, and in the space of culture connectivity, I work quite a lot in the Korean space. And
Okay.
I have a Korean government awarded platform, and we're working on our next set of events that promote Korean culture and culture connectivity. So yes, 101 things, but we're excited about all of them.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to high five you all constantly every time you talk. I'm just like, this is amazing. I love it. I absolutely love it. I just want to say thank you so much. But do you know what? What's the main challenge, do you think, you've had in this, I suppose, self-development? Because I think, and have there been any sacrifices you've had to make?
Definitely. I think each of our challenges may be slightly different if we get into details, but I think our umbrellaing challenge has definitely been people opening doors and welcoming new ideas. Because like we are a very open, welcoming family. If you need help, we'll give it to you. We'll go over and above if we have something that you need. But sometimes there isn't a lot of that in spaces, and spaces that have the resources to be that open. So that's why I guess we want to be that lantern of just giving and sharing because it's the right thing to do and because we can. So definitely like a lot of no's down the road. And it was hard. And there were moments when we not necessarily wanted to give up, but when we were like, oh my gosh, like this is getting really hard and intense. Like, can we actually do this? So I think that was a big one. Support as well from just support in general, like family-wise, within the business space. Like sometimes you'll have people that you think are amazing connections or partners and stuff, but then they're like, oh, like, can you really do all of that, or should you? So we've dealt with tons of things. And then on top of that, us being kids and being like, oh, like, you don't need to do all that, or like, you'll kind of see we're not going to listen to you, but we'll let you be there. So yeah, there's been quite a few.
They haven't got a clue. They don't know what's coming.
Yes.
Oh, do you know what? Thank you so, so much. And now we're going to get the boys. Now we're going to get the boys. I can't wait for this. Part 2. So now I'm with the rest of the family. Thank you so much for joining me. Now, what I would love to do is know your age, your name, your age, and what you do, what you're super passionate about. So, should we start with you?
Thank you. So my name's Ben-Salmi, aka Mr. Intelligent. I've written 6 books and I'm 9 years old.
What's your purpose?
And my purpose is to put a smile of over 1 on over 1 million people's faces, starting with you.
Oh, I just want to give him a hug. Oh, God, you're amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So 6 books.
Yes.
Wow. I don't know about everyone else, but I am just mind blown right now. Yeah, well done. And yeah, you're definitely going to achieve that goal pretty quick, I reckon. I think you've already done it. Whoever's watching is going to be smiling right now, for sure. Now, Trayshawn, there was something when I looked at your bio, I'm that kid. So can you tell me a bit about, you, your age, obviously, and then, what you've done, because you've achieved quite a lot.
So my name's Trayshawn, as you said. I'm 17 years old. My purpose is to work on eradicating poverty by teaching over 1 million people about financial education, as that's something I've been interested in for about, I want to say 5 years, something like that. Yeah, and today I've run various events. Like as a family, we hosted a 2-day event at Chelsea Football Club.
Wow!
Yeah, and then my very first event was at the age of 13 at Arsenal Football Club, which is the team that I support.
Hang on, so you went to Chelsea, but you support Arsenal.
I blame Mum. Yeah, so I did all of that. I did a TED talk June last year, on financial education as well. But yeah, everything that we do is around our individual purposes. We each have our own publishing houses. And for me, it's just all about finances and teach people how, yes, it's great and all, like being able to tap into all this knowledge and getting, like I said, your hands on great sums of money, but also the effects that it has in all areas of your life. As through trading, you're able to become a more controlled individual. You're able to check in with yourself a lot more, and it has a number of added benefits alongside obviously giving money as well.
Yeah, and I think it's also, and something I definitely wasn't taught in school, and I don't think we are even now, is I suppose how to manage your money and how to put that in places where you can get the most out of it, and for me, I was talking to someone about it the other day that, why is this not happening in school? Why is financial well-being and financial education not at the forefront? I was talking to someone the other day, they didn't even know what their pay slip meant to them. And I'm also a therapist, and actually at the top of the list that people worry about is money. Yet it's the last thing that we manage, or people manage. So, well done you. Well done you. And yourself, sir.
Yeah, awesome. So my name is Paolo, I'm 13. I've written 10 books, but published 10.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm just like, you've written 10 books.
Oh, thank you. And they come from 3 different book series.
Okay.
The Pints of Adventure series, the Tree Troop series, and the Big Questions series. Wow. And I'm just really passionate about helping kids going on adventures, both internally and externally.
Amazing. I need all the links, by the way, to all of these books. So, I mean, the bio is going to be huge. So how do you, as a family, like I was talking to the girls earlier, and obviously there's certain things that, you've had to sacrifice as a family. You come up against challenges all the time, but how do you stay motivated to just keep going no matter what?
I think for me, it would be probably finding, like, for example, when it came to public speaking, it was something that I was very shy of, and I just didn't want to do it at all. Yeah. So my older sister, Lachey, she told me, like, just think about those you're going to have an impact on, because, yeah, it may be a bit uncomfortable, you going up on stage, but imagine someone who needs to hear your message. Yeah. So sometimes taking yourself out of the equation, yeah, it can be extremely difficult to do that. But also, I guess, finding ways to, stay more disciplined as opposed to seeking motivation, because, like, motivation only lasts so long.
Absolutely.
Whereas if it's a discipline, for example, like working out, if you force yourself to go to the gym every day or trade or learn about this for X amount of hours, it will be, it can be quite uncomfortable and kind of weird, and it just lacked that motivation at the start. but it's like that snowballing effect. Once you get the ball rolling, it becomes a lot easier, and you just get into that, I guess like that, what's the word? Into that habit.
Yeah, and I was just about to say that. So what you've done is create really good habits for yourself, which means that your mindset is, on point. And how about you?
I guess having 4 other siblings.
I was going to say.
So I guess like you never really get bored or anything. But like, I think go back to what Trayshawn says, like removing yourself from the equation and knowing that, like even a story with my elder sister Shay, like there was a time where she had done a speech, and then after that a girl had came up to her saying that had I not heard your speech, and like she was thinking like about committing suicide, so she was suicidal, and she was saying like, had I not heard your speech, she wouldn't be here today. So I guess just knowing the effect you can have on people after sharing a message, no matter how nervous you may be, no matter how much you may stutter, just know that your message can help someone else out there.
Definitely. Oh, honestly, I've just like fallen in love. I've fallen in love with this entire family. Can you adopt me? Please. But you must, you must all just stay like, are you all really close though? Do you, if you've got an issue, will you talk to the other about it? Or are you like, boys just talk to boys and the girls do their own thing? Like, are you a proper integrated like foundation? Yeah. Or do you rather talk to the boys instead?
I guess that's great question. I think mum is like, mum has always parented us in a way where if we're feeling some way about something, if we are nervous or we're not feeling too good, she always raises that where we talk to the whole family. And
wow,
you know,
no
like,
pressure.
I guess now I've gotten used to it, but starting out I would have preferred talking to the boys.
Of course,
but I think it's much better being able to talk to the whole family, and hearing everyone's different opinions. When you have so many people in your family, and there's so many opinions.
I know, and that's it. It's like coming from all angles.
Exactly.
Wow.
And when you're on the same page, that's the best.
Yeah, definitely. So we're coming to the end of the interview, and for me, a lot of work that I'm doing is all around the next generation, okay? And if you were to, I suppose, leave a message to someone watching this that, just to keep them inspired and going, what's the message that you would like to leave?
Who would you like to go first?
Well, any one of you, you pick. Go on, Amir.
Just know that you are amazing and you guys are loved.
Oh.
Well, I'm going to look at the camera now because I'm talking to you guys anyway. But I want to say that the best way to be you is to practice being the best version of you. When you go out into the world, just try being the best version of yourself. Try and tap into that higher version of yourself so that you can ultimately meet your other half out there. You can meet the best friends that you could ever imagine were out there, and meet the best people that are ever out there. So when you just tap into your higher version of yourself.
Thank you.
For me, I think it would just be to take that first step. No matter how hard or unachievable that goal may seem, it's about taking that first step and being consistent. Literally, even if you're not able to put, 10 hours a day in, as long as you're able to put an hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes and be consistent with it, results will start to show. So it's just about taking that first step in the right direction, then also getting that support group around you, because let's face it, we all do feel down from time to time and just feel unmotivated. So it's just about having those right people around you to uplift you as well as keep you going. And yeah, that'll be it for me.
Thank you. And finally with you, Sabrina, the mum of the family, what's your message?
My message? I think one of the secrets we opened up to as a family was positioning, get it done, then get it right, and network. And I think that really was the game changer. When we start doing what we desire to live in the so-called future now, it changes. Get rid of what the perception is of how we need to show up, what we think we need to do, all the blueprints, all of, this tip, that tip. Reality is, if you could just fall in love with life, surrender to the organic unfoldment, true magic will begin to happen. As a family, we literally came through the back door. We were like, oh my God, going to these events, we got some of the things wrong and so-called wrong. But one of the things that we started to do was surrender to the process. Sometimes we're so structured in what needs to show up and how it needs to show up. It's like me sending you a gift and the box is blue and the postman turns up with a purple one. You're like, no, that's not it. I'm waiting for a blue one. What we realized is it's nothing to do with what we think it is. It's actually going inwards. It's healing. It's all the things you will get, like put parked to the side. Your business is a reflection of you. You attaining your purpose is how much you're allowed and willing to be vulnerable. And that was a game changer for us. We started to go around the world. We started to have these experiences and people be like, oh my gosh, yeah, wow. And we were like, yeah, right. It's so cool. Like, what's going on? And they're looking at us thinking, that's a bit strange. Why are you as excited as us? Think magic will start to happen when you actually get rid of the box. Don't think outside of the box. Get rid of it entirely and start going into that 7-year-old space. Remember that moment when you were playing and you didn't know that daytime turned into nighttime because you were having so much fun. And the more you can create those moments where they're just God incidents, you're just there and encountering, interacting, similar to how we met, and you just do things that are not intentional, they're all unconscious. That's the magic you need to tap into. And yeah, there's some things that you can do, but I think when you get into that magic of just doing things, you remember like the painter. Think of being the artist and see life as your canvas. Think of being that public speaker and seeing life as your stage. Show up wherever you are. Take you with you wherever you are. Don't just show up when you're on stage or when you're doing a performance. That's the essence of really getting into it. Young people, you've got all the resources at your fingertips. Surrender to the process and you'll create absolute magic.
Wow, what a way to finish. Thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was the Proud Talk. I hope that you have enjoyed this episode as much as I have. Please like and share the love. Mwah, lots of love. Hey, if you have enjoyed watching the Proud Talk just as much as I've enjoyed interviewing, do me a favour, hit subscribe, like and share. Lots of love.